Good morning, students. This is Arindam Bagh here, and today our topic is The Fly, and it is written by Catherine Mansfield. So, in our last class, we have discussed till this paragraph, and today we are going to start a new one from here. So, let us try to understand the text and the characters which has been described over here. Let's do a very quick recap. We have two characters only over here. The first one is Mr. Woodyfield, or rather Old Woodyfield, and the other character is the boss, who is actually having a very healthy life, and it is understandable his position in the society is higher than our Mr. Woodyfield. So that's why he has been described in such a manner: the boss who rolled in his office chair, stout, rosy, 5 years older than he, and still going strong. So this is the description of the boss we had earlier. I already explained that in my last class. So today we are going to start the next section, and we will start it from this section. So what it is? But he did not draw old Woodyfield's attention to the photograph over the table of a grave-looking boy in a uniform, standing in one of those spectral photographs parks with photographers, storm clouds behind him. It was not new; it had been there for over 6 years. So we can see there is a photograph. The reference of a photograph has been given over here in this very paragraph. And who is this? Whose photograph is referred here? It is actually the photograph of the boss's son who passed away. See, he kept the photograph of his son on the very table, on the very office table. He has described almost all the furnitures and all the amenities inside his office several times, I must say. But he didn't draw attention to this section because it is his weak point. Rather, it is a particular wound which never healed. The wound was created by the death of his son, or rather, only son. Now, this is something which can be realized, or rather, properly realized only by a father, a person who is a father. For him, losing his son is very tough. So, and one more thing I need to tell you: uniform that represents that he is an army, and we can understand why he is killed because he participated in the First World War, isn't it? So there are some other photographs also, and it has been described that it was not new. It had been there for over 6 years. It has been there for over 6 years. In the next paragraph, we will find there was something I wanted to tell you. Now, Now, Woodfield, this time, he actually came to share some information, but he didn't. That means he is holding this line. I wanted to tell you there was something. What is that? And his eyes grew dim, remembering. Actually, he was feeling very much hesitant that whether he should share or rather inform or rather ask this to the boss. So that's why he was going round and round, beating the bushes. He was saying, now what was it? I had it in my mind when I started out this morning. And then there was a physical change. There was an there was a physical change we can observe over here. His hands began to tremble and patches of red showed above his beard. That means he was not very comfortable with the very idea which he is about to share. It makes him uncomfortable. So, what is that? Now, assuming the situation, boss tried to help him out. He is in a superior position, and that's why he considered Woodyfield as poor old chap. He is on his last pins. His days are numbered. His days are numbered. He will live a very short time. He is very poor also. He is, fragile also. The boss thought so. See, sometimes it happens. A person who appears to be very strong, actually he is very weak inside. And the opposite can also be observed. A person who appears to be very weak but very strong inside. The first example which I told, a person who looks to be stronger but actually inside, deep inside, he is very weak, that is the boss. And that the old chap, Mr. Woodfield, he appears to be very fragile, very weak from outside but strong from inside. He somehow managed the shock of the death of his only son. But the boss, who appears that he has handled the situation in a beautiful way, actually is unable to control his emotion and could not accept the loss which he faced by losing his only son. And feeling kindly, he winked at the old man. Old man means here Woodfield, and said jokingly, I tell you what, I've got a little drop of something that here that will do you good before you go out into the cold again. Yes, obviously, the story appears to be in England and the weather there is chilly. So it's beautiful stuff. Actually, he is referring to some kind of alcohol, rather, we must say whiskey. That will be later explained to you. He is referring that whiskey as beautiful stuff, and it is so pure, or rather, it is so classic, or rather, it is so refined that it would not hurt a child. The whiskey, which is referring to, the drink which is referring to, according to the boss, that drink is so mild, it is so light actually, it would not hurt a child. Now, what he did, he took a key of his watch chain, unlocked a cupboard below his desk, and drew forth a dark, squat bottle. So now he got that whiskey bottle in front of Mr. Woodfield, and he described, that's the medicine. Yeah, for him, for Mr. For the boss, this particular bottle, which is actually a bottle of whiskey, is a medicine for this poor old chap. And the man from whom I got it told me on the strict cutie. Now, this word cutie is a kind of slang. Sorry, the word cutie is a slang. It means, it's a slang actually. It means actually with full confidence, with strict confidence. It came from the cellars at Windsor Castle. Now, you must know Windsor Castle. What Windsor Castle is? Windsor Castle is a palace which belongs to the royalty of England. And from the cellars of it means the drink or the wine or the alcohol or the whiskey is very much expensive and very classy also. Now, when Mr. Woodfield saw this, his mouth fell open at the sight. Now, people who love to drink, people who do not drink, they will not realize. But people who drink alcohols, they only, only they will realize the importance or the beauty of it. So the moment he saw it, it has been described in this way. Woodfield's mouth fell open at the sight. He could not have looked more surprised if the boss had produced a rabbit. So it is like a magician who brings out a rabbit out of his hat from nowhere. He could not be more surprised. When he saw this bottle, he was surprised, and he said feebly, "It's whiskey, ain't it?" He piped feebly. The boss turned the bottle and lovingly showed him the label. Whiskey it was. Yes, it is whiskey. Whiskey is a kind of alcoholic beverages. Do you know? Said he, peering up at the boss wonderingly. They won't let me touch it at home. Yes, obviously, he was not supposed to touch that drink. That means whiskey at home because he's old enough. He's fragile old guy. He need medications. Maybe he needs special attention and special diet. He is supposed to be, he is not supposed to take this drink, but you know he's craving for it, and he looked as though he was going to cry. Seeing this whiskey, he becomes emotional, and he 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 appeared in such a way that he is going to cry. Now that's where the boss comments. That's where we know. We know means the boys or the man knows a bit more than the ladies, cried the boss, swooping across two tumblers. Tumblers means a glass to drink. Tumblers that stood on the table with the water bottle and pouring a generous finger into each. He poured a bit of whiskey in it, in that tumbler. Where is that? Here. Drink it down, and instructs him, drink it down, it will do you good, and don't put any water with it. So he was drinking the whiskey neat without adding any water. And then he comments, it's sacrilege. It's a sin. It's sacrilege. It's a sin to tamper with stuff like this. That means it is so costly, or it's so classic or royal drink. You are not supposed to put water in it. You are not supposed to tamper with the density of this particular liquid whiskey. He tossed off his, pulled out his handkerchief, hastily wiped his moustaches, and cocked an eye at old Woodfield. He was looking sharply towards Woodfield. What Woodfield is doing? Who was rolling his in his chaps. Woodfield was holding the glass, and he was like, you know, just watching the liquid in front of him, and he was rolling the glass. So that will be all for today. Thank you for watching my channel. I hope you understand the part I explained today. Please share, like, and subscribe my channel and help me to grow my channel. Thank you again.